Lost in the bigger details of multi-state mega railroads are the smaller things. When the years begin to pass, things like the opening and a closure of a railroad may stay fresh in one's mind. But what about the smaller details that are often overlooked in big picture discussions? Perhaps an abandoned bridge, hidden deep in the forest of Indiana. Welcome back to Remnants. This bridge, located deep within a forest in Disco, Indiana, sits untouched. When we first explored it, we weren't sure why it was there. There were no signs of any railroad tracks, except a few railroad sleepers, the wooden blocks beneath the rails. So our theory was the bridge was never used, until we did a little more research. The bridge was a part of the Erie Railroad, which expanded west to Chicago in 1865. But in 1960, on October 17th, Erie Railroad merged with former rival Delaware, Lackawanna, and Western Railroad to form the Erie Lackawanna Railroad. At its peak, the Lackawanna reached from St. Louis, Illinois to Montreal, Canada. But the railroad only lasted 16 more years after the merger, before being forced to join the company Conrail. Even today, the remnants of the Erie Lackawanna Railroad can still be seen on Google Maps. Looking carefully, you can see the forested sections that once surrounded the tracks. While the history on the Erie Lackawanna Railroad is fruitful, the history on this specific bridge is non-existent. We never said it was going to be easy. Whether it's crossing state lines to see an abandoned hospital, or an intense trek through a river to a crumbling bridge, the end result is something beautiful. After climbing a steep incline up to a rock-covered summit, we saw it swaying in the distance. While we're not sure how tall the bridge is, our guess was over 80 feet. It was so tall, in fact, we had to use rope to lower and raise camera equipment from the tracks to the river. The bridge itself is in poor condition. The sleepers decayed quickly and crumbled with the slightest touch, while the metal structure had nearly completely rusted. It also appears that someone had removed the actual train tracks, while the stone foundation holding the bridge up has begun to chip and crack. Beneath the bridge, in the dense forest, we managed to make our way to the Silver Creek River, where we got a good look at the bridge from below. It may be hard to see, but we actually found a train coupler on the riverbed. While the coupler hid in the water, the train bridge and the supporting structure looked beautiful in the May sunlight. It's a shame that it is in the condition it is in. While most of the bridges in the former Erie Lackawanna were demolished, this one remains protected on private property, which we got special permission to enter. The remains of the Erie Lackawanna are slowly being demolished or decaying. Luckily, the Silver Creek Bridge still remains as a reminder of the railroad's legacy in Indiana. Thank you for watching, and good night.